Welcome back to another video, another opportunity here to dive into some learning, right? Today we're gonna jump into a little bit of nutrition work. I had a comment the other day in regards to, can I give a little more insight into nutrition? So I love it. This can be one of those podcast style videos, answer some questions from you guys, the subscribers, and try to fill in some gaps for you. So if there's anything moving forward that you have questions on, drop a comment on a video. I will hopefully see it. Obviously, we'll engage, try to figure out the best options moving forward, and we'll get some more videos out like this. But today we're gonna dive into some high-level nutritional discussion, right? I'm not a dietitian. I'm not gonna tell you what to eat in this video, but we will break things down at a high level, hopefully lay a foundation, some examples of how you kind of get things moving in the right direction, and then we can start building forward with some other options, some other questions, and maybe go into some more depth with some of this content. So I like to start things off with protein. I think protein is one of those that everyone talks about all the time. I think it's an opportunity for us to add to diets typically versus take away from diets. I think a lot of times people hear diet and it's like the extreme of take away, take away, take away. I find that most people are so underloaded with their protein that adding protein is a great way to start because they feel like they get to eat more food and it ends up just being different food, but they get to eat more food in the right direction. So we focus on protein as a whole food. We don't focus on protein as in shakes. We don't focus on protein as in bars. Those are supplements. They're not bad, but they're supplements. And since we're talking about supplements, I will throw in a quick Legion Athletics drop here. I'm affiliated with them. Protein, creatine, other supplements, third-party tested. I love it. Dive in there. If you end up using my link, thank you very much. All of those proceeds go to helping the channel grow. So appreciate you on that. But whole foods are the focus. Now again, we're trying to get that protein number up. I'm not gonna sit here and give exact macros on things, but typically you're gonna be looking somewhere around 0.8 grams per kilogram of weight, right? Or if you wanna make it simple, you just kind of do your body weight in grams of protein. So I weigh about 195 pounds. I need 195 grams of protein a day. Now, is that an easy number to hit? No, it is not. What you're focused on is taking that protein number, dividing it by the amount of meals/snacks you want to eat, right? So you take 195, let's say you divide it by 5, divide it by 6. Don't divide it by 3. 195 divided by 3 is near impossible. You're never going to hit your protein goals if you try to stuff all that protein into 3 meals. You have to have snacks. You have to have options. You have to go to the grocery store and make sure you're shopping for success. So that is number one. As we get protein locked in and we're doing those good sources, we'll kind of go into fat because obviously proteins are typically going to be loaded up with some extra fat. Now, just be wary of kind of how you're doing this, right? Oh, nuts have protein. Well, nuts are very high in fat. So you need to make sure you're watching those ratios. Look at what you're buying at the store. You want something with a lot of protein, low fat. That's going to be your best options. Greek yogurt is always up there. You can jump into eggs are obviously a good choice. Egg whites are a better choice, but like you can start kind of breaking things down and finding some good options at the grocery store. But fat is something that kind of takes care of itself. We don't need to go find fat, right? It's going to be in our cooking oils. It's going to be in our meats. You're going to hit your number pretty easily. Now, you're never trying to pull too much fat away. Fat is great for your hormonal balance. So you need fat in your diet. You just want to be aware of the fats that you're adding. Are you adding coffee creamers? Coffee creamers will get your fat going real early in the morning, real easy. So make sure you're just watching those, your mayos, your sauces, like all these different things have the fat that's going to add too much fat. That's going to kind of push you over your limits. If we're talking about energy, right? Fat is 9 calories per gram, while carbs and protein are 4 calories per gram. So fat is a more dense nutrient, and it's always going to push your calorie number a little bit higher. So depending on your goals, you just need to watch out for it. The last we'll talk about here in terms of the big macros is obviously carbs. Now, carbs always get a bad rap. Carbs are scary. Carbs are great. Carbs are this, carbs are that. Carbs are energy for fuel. Simple as that. If your goal is high performance, your goal is to move well, you need carbs before and carbs after. You need it for the energy to do the work. You need it for the recovery in your muscles after the work. Carbs then, you need less of them as you move away from your training session. If you train in the morning, less carbs later on in the day. If you train in the evening, less carbs in the morning, more carbs as you get closer and closer to that time where you are going to start getting into training. So you're trying to time those up a little bit. You want quality carbs. Obviously, there are fast digesting carbs and slow digesting carbs. We're not going to get into all of that in this video, but you want to make sure that you're mixing those up based on the activity, right? If you're getting closer to your workout, you can go with those more simple carbs. They're going to spike your glucose a little bit faster. The slow digesting carbs are a little more satiating. You can have those a little bit further away, or you can have those if you know there's going to be a big gap before your next meal to hold you over a little bit better, keep you full a little bit longer, which is exactly what fats and protein are very good at. So making sure that we're focusing on keeping that body satiated, timing of our nutrients is going to be key to all of that, focusing in again on performance and recovery. Everyone here is going to have a different goal. You might be trying to gain muscle. You might be trying to lose fat. You might be sitting here trying to run a marathon. You need a lot of carbs for a marathon. You might be trying to hit heavy lifts. You need a lot of carbs for those. So based on your goals is where you need to start. Figure out what your high level goal is, and then you run everything down the list from there. Obviously, if you're trying to lose weight, you need to be in a calorie deficit. You're trying to gain weight, you need to be in a calorie surplus. You're going to gain some fat in a calorie surplus. You're going to lose some muscle in a calorie deficit. That's just how it works. It's very hard, very nuanced to not see that. So pick it, attack your goal, get there, and then you can flip your goal to the opposite and you can kind of start working through things. But it's very hard to achieve everything at once. So just kind of be aware of that. In terms of building habits with all of this, right? The key is to not try to go into the extremes. We are not trying to transition someone that's eating 120 grams of protein a day to 200 grams a day the next day. It's just not going to happen. You want to add a meal, feel like you're moving in the right direction, and then obviously once you build that habit, you stack another piece of that habit on. You just try to add your 15 to 30 grams of protein every couple weeks until you hit the goal you want to hit. Consistency, consistency, consistency is what's going to get you the results that you want to get. As you're building habits, you're focusing in on low-hanging fruit first, right? You want to snowball your results. So again, if adding the protein is the first option, add in the protein. If the next option is you want to remove snacking at night, remove snacking at night. Every little step you take is going to get you there, but don't try to layer too many steps all together. If you watched any of my videos so far this year, we've talked about that through January. Don't try to do too much at once. Slow things down, trust the process, build the habits that are going to stick long term. That's going to get you better results than anything else. Going to the grocery store is your number one tool. When you're at the grocery store, buy the foods that you need to eat. Once they're in your house, it's much easier to eat them, right? If you're buying bad things at the store, you're going to eat them when you get home. If you're a parent like me and your kids have snacks, those are their snacks. You got to learn just to let them have their snacks, a little self-control. That's theirs, not yours. Keep yourself locked into those good ones. If you want to have a cheat meal once a week and that fits how you're kind of operating, fantastic, do that. You deserve that. If you're training your butt off, you deserve to do that. But just make sure it's part of your plan. I think that's the biggest case here, is that it's not just on a whim, oh, I'm having a stressful day, I'm going to go eat a bunch of Oreos or whatever. Have a game plan. Like, hey, I'm going to have a bad day. I have a healthier snack here that's still delicious. I still love it, but it's going to kind of fit my numbers a little bit better. And then through the habit building, we are looking at trying to find an opportunity to develop meal planning, just meal prep, making sure that, again, the proper foods are in front of you and easily accessible. And now, I'm not someone that does meal prep. I don't plan 3 meals in advance, 2 meals in advance, 4 meals in advance, or even 4 days in advance. I don't want any of that. So what I'm thinking of doing is, with family, you make a dinner, it's a healthy dinner, make extra dinner. That dinner is now lunch the next day. I eat the same breakfast every single day, whether that be, 2 breakfasts every couple days. It's either Kodiak cakes, I love the Kodiak protein pancakes, or I'm eating eggs and egg whites, and typically on like a tortilla with some tomatoes, with some onions, and with some jalapenos or something like that. Those are my 2 breakfasts. It is boring, it is simple, but simple takes any guesswork out of it. The more simple you can make something, just like programming sometimes, strength training, running, the more simple you can make it, the more you can just execute it and lock in, the more you're going to see success. If it's repeatable, you're going to see success with it. So set yourself up. You're going to the grocery store. What are easy meals to make? What meals can I eat on certain days? When do I have my stressful days? When can I have a meal prepped because the kids have to go do soccer practice, baseball practice, XXX? I can have a meal ready to roll. I eat the meal, I move on, I feel my body, body's not starving, I'm not gonna go stress eat later, I'm not gonna run to McDonald's, I'm not gonna run to Wendy's, I'm not gonna go get something bad, right? So you start stacking all of these small habit building wins together, and you start getting yourself in a really good spot. So I'll kind of end this video here. I think this is a great starting point. I think this is a great foundational layer of nutrition and some habits around nutrition to get people rolling. Obviously, I hope this stirs more conversation, more questions, more comments. Put them in. I will find them. I will reach out. We'll find out what other concepts we want to discuss on these podcast style videos, these in-depth videos, and we'll make sure we keep getting quality content up to everyone because I do appreciate you guys following. I appreciate you guys watching every video. Never settle with yesterday. Can't wait to touch base with some of you and keep on the good fight. We'll keep this up.